When we give you complete coverage of the Sharks and Barracuda, we mean we give you coverage of the Sharks and Barracuda. That's right, the San Jose Barracuda played their first play-in game in their Pacific Division playoffs. We'll tell you how it went and everything. We have a hyped-up Kevin Lacy, if that's a spoiler alert or not. We'll talk about it right now. This is Barracuda After Dark.
Ooh, Barracuda!
But first, welcome in. It is May 18th, 2021, and the San Jose Barracuda win? Oh, yeah. They beat the Tucson Roadrunners 2-1. We'll talk about that. First, welcome to Barracuda After Dark. This is a special edition. We'll do this on occasion. Of course, we're going to roll it like just a regular Teal Town After Dark. So if you want to chat with us and fellow Barracuda fans on the page of the app, please do so. Follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course our Discord, and find everything at tealtownusa.com. I have a hint of orange going on. Wait, I should probably have this up a little bit higher to pretend I got a turtleneck on. But I'm joined by Kevin Lacy. How are you, bud?
Well, I'm doing pretty well. I apologize to those of you who are watching here live or watching the replay or listening on your favorite podcatcher. But thanks for tuning in. I apologize because I am getting an important phone call at this moment, so I actually need to step away. But
this is gonna be
I'll
fun.
be back. When the CFO calls, you got to take the call.
Oh,
so I'll be right back.
You mute yourself. I'll get things going here and explain everything going on. In fact, the San Jose Barracuda, along with the rest of the Pacific Division, are playing in a play-in tournament. They're the only division doing this, and there's no Calder Cup playoffs this year for the AHL. And unfortunately, this is all you're going to get for playoff hockey this season. In fact, there's a lot of guys who didn't want to play in this tournament, but they are going to do it no matter what to make sure things get on the high note there to finish it off for the season. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let Kevin talk, and once he's able to come back on, I'll let him talk. So again, if you want to be part of the show, by all means, check us out right here on tealtownusa.com, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We are also watching Vancouver and Calgary play right now. Vancouver is currently up 3-1 with about 2 minutes to go in the third period. If that score holds, the Vancouver Canucks leapfrog the Sharks in the standings, which gives the Sharks a better chance at a selection here. So it'll be nice to see all around for sure in this one. So let me break that there. There you go. Hi, everyone. No need to see Kevin Lacy take a phone call. Very important phone call with work here. So we're looking at that 3-1 Canucks. The Flames have an empty net. We'll keep you posted on that if you're joining us live. As for the game itself that we're talking about, the Barracuda come in as the number 4 seed. They take on the Tucson Roadrunners, who come in as the 7 seed. This is a play-in format, so winner moves on to play in the next play-in round. When they win, that team will go get on a bus and drive all the way to Las Vegas to take on the Golden Knights affiliate, the Silver Knights, in a best-of-3 format. That'll begin later this week. Let me pull up my info here if I don't have it mistaken. Yeah, so that Pacific Division semifinal round with the Henderson Silver Knights will all be in Las Vegas. It'll start on Friday, game time 7 p.m. for that one, if this thing works. In fact, let's see. I think I could pull this up here. Why not? That way you all can see what's going on here.
So, guys, I was starting to say I apologize because I may need to break away because I am trying to work and do the show and
Then
eat lunch all at the same time.
then
And of course, our email server just went down at work. So
of course, this is a great thing of afternoon hockey. So let's just go through
yeah.
this really quick. We'll make it less than 10 minutes. Early on, no scoring in the first period. Here, shots 6-5. I mean, overall, Lacy, 20-20 in the shots. I mean, I would say kind of low scoring matchup here, but definitely
Yeah,
goalie steal.
this game was really a defensive battle here for the most part. Not to say that teams were seal tight defensively, because I did notice a few um, breakdowns, especially the Barracuda. If you've been able to watch In the Reef, the previous episodes over the past couple of years, and the episode that never actually aired, which was the last one, where I discussed with Nick about my problems with the Cuda defensively in front of their net. They seem to constantly break down, leave players wide open in the slot, and it's a problem. And I mentioned it even on Twitter today. So that was still kind of there, especially at the start of the second period. I thought Tucson really came out flying there to start the second, but even Tucson, when we eventually get to the game-winning goal, I thought that was also a complete defensive breakdown by them. So it was a matter of these teams not giving up very much, but trying to capitalize on the few scoring opportunities that they actually generated.
Right.
So that first period, I let me pull up the shots, but I believe the shots were like 5-5,
6-5, 6-5 in favor.
6-5, yeah.
Barracuda.
And that was, the shots were something like 5-3 with about 3 minutes left in the first period. So really, both goalies didn't have to be tested very much. I think that played to the Barracuda's favor, because with Josef Korenar coming back, it really let him slide into the different pace. One of the big concerns for me, Erik, was with Josef Korenar coming back from the NHL. There's two ways to go about it. One is the AHL not being at quite the same pace as the NHL, obviously. You could take that for granted. You might be like, haha, I've faced NHL experience, or I've gotten NHL experience over the last 3 weeks, so I'm just going to come in and own this league. And that's really not a good mindset to have. I remember Jim Fahey, the Shark from a long time ago, had that attitude, and he never played in the NHL again. So it's sorry if I sound distracted. It's because my phone is off the hook right now.
Gotcha.
But with Korenar, though, he was allowed to settle in, only faced the 5 shots in the first period, and really said, okay, here we go, let's go. I thought Korenar was excellent. There was one chance late in the game where Jan Yannick nearly scored because Korenar was not holding his post. But overall, I thought Korenar looked every bit as good as he was before his call-up.
Yeah, and he looked pretty solid, making 19 saves on 20 shots. Jan Yannick, who scored his first 2 NHL goals against the Sharks in the last two regular season games for the Desert Dogs, he got the things going to make it 1-0, which I thought, a little quick move that I think fooled Korenar. And then Evan Weinger, about midway through the second period, ties the game up at 1-1 with a nice little wrister, almost into the corner there, that beat Provetsov. Easier said than done to make
Sorry,
it.
it's Prosvetov. I'm trying to pick up my phone here, but it's Prosvetov.
Thank you.
Actually, it's Prosvetov. See, even I'm distracted right now.
Wow, he got it wrong, folks.
Prosvetov.
Milosh and Co. with the assist on there to tie it up 1-1. I thought the Korenar had a nice run in the second period. And I'm kind of looking at the gifts that we put on for Teal Town, but it was just, he had some net mount scramble and looked really crazy. But like you said, Korenar looked really solid all around. And then Jake McGrew, with some nice passing, behind the net from Reedy and Helga Walks, get open net for the game-winning goal to make it 2-1. That would be your final score there. You know, and McGrew with the nice little nifty backhander from behind the play. I don't think Vietov got any chance in it, but McGrew picks it up with the game winner. No mistake on that one. Open net to make it happen. Kathy, I love Kevin's hockey knowledge. Kevin needs to run a special segment to teach everyone how to pronounce all the players' names. Him and Dan Ruzanowski, Kathy. Appreciate you joining us indeed there. So the Barracuda will take it 2-1. That's your final score. So what happens next? Well, now we wait for the Colorado Eagles, the Avalanche affiliate, and the Ontario Reign, the LA Kings affiliate. They will play later tonight at 7 p.m. On the same rink in Irvine. That's the Ducks practice facility in Irvine, California. So they will play. That winner of that game will take on the Barracuda tomorrow night at 7 p.m. In Irvine, and the winner of that will get to take on the Henderson Silver Knights starting Friday. So it's a huge series all around, and hopefully it will be an interesting one down the road indeed. So McGrew with the game winner, Wenger with the tying goal, Koshinash with 19 saves on the day. Even though not exactly quantity, but decent quality shots. I thought Tucson had a pretty good roll going there, but all in all, a victory for the CUDA. They move on into this next round here, hoping that things will go their way, even though it's just a Pacific Division tournament. Hopefully they'll get back up. Kevin, are you with us here?
Yeah. Sorry about that. My phone was blowing up so bad that my phone stopped ringing. So it was all showing up on the screen like blip, 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 but my phone actually stopped taking calls.
All right. So really quickly here, what did you think of the goals from Wenger and McGrew? I kind of
cool. Awesome.
Broke it down really quick.
So great goal for both goals were great, but I really liked the Evan Wenger goal, even though it was a simple bounce in off a skate or a leg or something along those lines. It starts with a great defensive. I mean, it's like the full 200 effort on this goal, guys. Max Latunov is battling behind his own net as the defensive center stalwart that he is. Wins the battle along the boards, gets that puck out to young 19-year-old Brandon Coe. Coe rushes up the ice, kind of a 2-on-1, 2-on-2-ish play. Skates up that right side, finds Nick Malosh coming in on the left side, basically covering, or rather jumping up in the play in lieu of Latunov's back check earlier. Malosh finds Evan Wenger just kind of parked in front of the net, looks up, finds his man, not sure if he was going for the deflection or a shot pass. He definitely was not shooting, that's for sure. But it hit Wenger somewhere and went in the net, and another clutch goal for Evan Wenger in the playoffs. I mean, technically it is a play-in, but some people will consider it playoffs as well. So if you want to go that route, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I believe that's the third straight season now that second straight season, because last year there was no playoffs. But Evan Wenger was a playoff performer for the Barracuda there 2 years ago when he hadn't put up much in as far as offense goes during the regular season. Same thing kind of happened this season, although Wenger found some really good chemistry with Max Latunov the last 6-8 weeks or so, and Wenger comes up with that big goal. As far as Jake McGrew's goal goes, I'm going to need to double my head is spinning right now, but what I do recall
it was nice it was a nice behind the play net, Reedy and Elkawaks fed it open, and I don't think Prosvietsov actually saw it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that. Sorry, again, really distracted right now, guys. So thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for tuning in. I mentioned very few defensive breakdowns in this game, but this was one of them. Tucson had three defending players go behind their own net, and to borrow a line from Randy Hahn, which is never good. So Jaden Hobgawaks and Scott Reedy both drew the three players back, allowed Jake McGrew to be wide open in front of the net. Now, it kind of was a backdoor play. Hobgawaks basically stabbed the puck threw a player out to the front of the net. Prosvetov was looking the wrong way where all the traffic was. McGrew was in the right place at the right time and put it in the open net before Prosvetov could get back over to that left side. So that ended up being the game winner. Two really nice, outstanding goals for very, very different reasons.
Right. And you love to see it. Just a nice little playmaking ability there to get things done. And so SG 2021, we have a super chat donation. Yes.
Wow. Hey, awesome.
So appreciate
the
that.
funds will go towards our broken email system at work. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
no,
I'm kidding. It all stays in-house here at Teal Town USA.
That's right. So great win by the San Jose Barracudas. You got to drop the S though. It's plural even without the S there. So, but appreciate the donation as always in that one. So, what happens next? As I was saying, Colorado and Ontario. That's in California. Those who are not aware of the teams in the AHL. So the Avalanche and the Kings affiliates will play tonight at around 7:30 in Irvine. The winner of that game will move on to play the Barracuda tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in Irvine. And then the winner gets to get a all-expense-paid bus ride to Henderson. Well, actually, the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas to take on the Henderson Silver Knights in the 3-game series. So.
Right. Just getting out of this round will be an accomplishment. Just because it is extra games. The rest of the American Hockey League is not playing playoffs this year. And if you have been following Twitter, it sounds like nearly every player in the Pacific Division did not want this to happen as well. Apparently, I can't remember the source, so I'll just say check out Twitter. But only 8 players in the entire Pacific Division voted in favor of this tournament. So I would venture to guess the Sharks organization is probably one of those teams pushing for extra time. I would imagine San Diego would have been one of those teams because they're very invested in their AHL club, and I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado, maybe a couple other teams, but it is single elimination here in these play-in stages. So winning today was literally it. If they lost, the season was over. We're doing a totally different show. Right. We have another show for you tomorrow, I think, Erik. Maybe. I'll be more.
I said, wait, but sure, why not? Dangle, what do you say?
Why not?
All right, thank you. There you go. So yeah, we'll be back apparently following a little more organized. We'll forgive us for this, for throwing this in the last minute, but following, and of course it's an afternoon game, so it throws us off. But following this game, and hopefully it doesn't go into 16 overtimes, Barracuda After Dark, following the Barracuda and the Eagles or Rain. Again, that game's at 7:30, excuse me, in Irvine. You can watch it on AHL TV. You, of course, can listen to Nick Nollenberger on the Sharks Audio Network. And, of course, be back here following that game as well. And hopefully we got a little bit of a playoff run. I mean, you're going to have this play-in. If the CUDA advance, they take on the Silver Knights, and if that happens, they'll take on the winner of Bakersfield versus San Diego for the Pacific Division Championship in this tournament. Really quickly, SG, what are your thoughts on Korenar on tonight on the game today?
So I did talk about Korenar quite a bit here earlier, but just to kind of recap, I thought he looked very, very strong. He didn't look like a goalie who was taking things for granted. He recognized the situation, being that this is single elimination, and having played in the NHL the last few weeks, he didn't look like a guy who's like, AHL. I'm so over this. Like, he looked like a focused goalie who was there to stop pucks, and it took Jan Yannick, who's been a thorn in the side for Tucson this season against the Barracuda. Um, and the Barracuda took a couple of really dumb penalties early on because Yannick was still in their heads from earlier in the year. And Yannick, another player you may have become familiar with after he scored his first 2 NHL goals against the Sharks. But he was the only one to beat Josef Korenar today. I thought Korenar looked great. I'm glad that he was the guy to get in net, because my concern was, you saw it with the lineup here today, or I don't know if you noticed, Erik, but a lot of the veteran players were missing from the lineup, like Joel Chelman. There's a lot of rumors circulating around Frederick Handemark right now, whether he is no longer with the organization. I'm trying to think of a couple others, but like Chmielewski's at the World Championships now. Bergman's at the World Championships. Blichfeld's injured. Viel is injured. So you did see some new players. Timur Ibragimov. I know he'll eventually become Ibragimov, but for now I will call him the correct Russian pronunciation of Ibragimov. He made his his North American debut today on the fourth line. Vlad Kotkov got into the lineup. Kyle Topping got in from being called up from the ECHL. So they weren't running with the most veteran lineup despite having 32 players on the roster. So I was wondering if Alexei Melnichuk might get the game today. Glad they went with Korenar. He looked great. I fully expect Korenar to get the start tomorrow. And if we keep on moving further, he's the guy I want to see in net, because he clearly was the number one goalie and the number one option for this team this year. But going real quick back to those lineup decisions I talked about earlier, I'm curious to see what Roy Sommer does tomorrow. Can he put a few more veterans into the lineup with more at stake tomorrow? I mean, the same kind of stakes. They're both elimination games, but just as important, if not more important, you got through game one, but you have tomorrow. And on the back-to-back situation, might we see a few players get pulled and some more veteran players jump into the lineup? I'm curious to see that.
That's interesting to see. And granted, you had a lot of players out, as you said, and there's the thing. Sharks last wanting to know really quickly before we go, did you notice any good chemistry with all these new guys?
Yeah. I mean, they still kept kind of that's an excellent question. That's a great question. Like, you had your Scott Reedy and Jake McGrew pair, so it was more like pairs more than trios. Scott Reedy and Jake McGrew have really found chemistry, and I think that Jake McGrew. I don't know what Jake McGrew's ceiling is as far as NHL. I mean, I think he has some NHL qualities to his game. He's just a player I like to watch, and so has Scott Reedy. Scott Reedy was another player who I had a lot of concerns about, but I was willing to give him a chance because I had seen him in his freshman year perform very, very well. I was worried about not necessarily his work ethic, but just his what do I want to say here? Just the way he would impose himself on the ice there. The games that I saw both last year and this year for University of Minnesota, I think Scott Reedy has really shown, hey, I know I need to step my game up here in the pro ranks, so I'm here to stay. Reedy and McGrew, great chemistry. I talked about Wenger and Latunov having great chemistry. Yeah, I think there are still some things you can take away from that with the forward group. And then defensively, all the pairs were the same. So that I think that also helped with this being the more defensive game. There was a lot of familiarity there. So great question.
Great question, Kathy. Thank you very much. In case you missed anything, want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com, or your favorite podcatcher is listed on the screen: Apple, Google, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. Of course, hit that subscribe button here. You just never know when we will pop up, like today, apparently. So, again, the CUDA advanced 2-1 over the Tucson Roadrunners. They await the winner of Ontario versus Colorado tonight at 7:30. They will play tomorrow at 7 in Irvine at the 5 Points Arena, the Ducks' beautiful new practice facility. And we will do a Barracuda After Dark following that one for sure. And then, if things advance, well, we'll just keep this thing rolling. So Kevin will have to cancel all his roller hockey games and cancel all his conference calls after that.
I am so happy that this game was at 1:00 because originally the schedule was reversed. This game was going to be the 7:00 game, which was going to make me pull. I got a haircut, so it'd be less hair to pull, but I was still going to be pulling my hair out, having to miss the game. But I'm glad it happened during the day. I'm glad we got a victory. And tomorrow night, my only plans are to watch the Barracuda. So I hope you join us after the game. Hopefully, it's another win.
Yep, absolutely. So,
and I won't have conference calls or
I hope not
calls and things
at
breaking
9:30 at night. Hopefully.
Yeah,
so,
that was what timing for this catastrophe at work to happen.
No kidding. Yikes. So that'll do it for us. For Kevin, he's at Kevin Lacy 22, and there he goes again. I'm at Puckeye 14. We'll see you tomorrow following the second playing game for the San Jose Barracuda, whether it's Colorado or Ontario. So until then, it seems weird. I think they're wearing teal, so we'll go with it. Keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.